And it was going so well. The season had, the first episode was, okay. Then it got better, and it was really good, and they enjoyed it, and they were doing everything right until this episode. They built it up, and, Lara finding Billy, and then they just completely messed it up. I don't know why they did it the way they did, because it kind of breaks a golden rule of storytelling. Show don't tell. They just basically, spoilers by the way, they basically said, oh no, this guy's got no demon, and that was it. The book does it so much better. Now, bearing in mind that in the book the boy is not actually Billy Costa, it's actually a boy called Tony Macarius, so bear that in mind. The little boy was huddled against a wood drying rack, where hung row upon row of gutted fish, all as stiff as boards. He was clutching a piece of fish to him, as Lyra was clutching Pantalaimon, with both hands hard against her heart. That was all he had, a piece of dried fish, because he had no demon at all. The gobblers had cut it away. This was indecision, and this was a severed child. It doesn't seem like it very important thing. It was a piece of fish, and he was clutching to it. But it shows how much a demon is important to a person in this world. It's something that they've not really shown that much. Demons exist. That's about it. It hurts when they go away, go too far away. That's about it. But seeing a person without a demon is essentially like seeing somebody without a head. In this, Tony actually talks. In the series, he didn't. He keeps going on about where's Rata, where's his demon. He's confused and hurt. He doesn't know what's going on. Now, in some ways, I think is a better change that they changed it to Billy Costa in the series, because it brings that emotionality there, because it's a character you know. However, in some ways, I think it's better that it's a stranger, because it shows that the prejudice people may have against people with no demons, something that's actually explored a lot more in the Secret Commonwealth, but in this one you have the Egyptians recoiling in horror at the sight of a person with no demon, something they probably wouldn't have done to somebody they knew, and they treat him with a lack of respect. It's something that Lyra is really upset about. Now, in this, once Tony dies, Lyra goes to look for him and sees that there's something missing. She was on her feet in a moment, and her eyes flashed fury at the men nearby. "Where's his fish?" They stopped, puzzled, unsure what she meant, though some of their demons knew, and looked at one another. One of the men began to grin uncertainly. "Don't you dare laugh. I'll tear your lungs out if you laugh at him. That's all he had to cling to. Just an old dried fish. That's all he had for a demon to love and be kind to. Who's took it from him? Where's it gone?" Pantalaimon was a snarling snow leopard, just like Lord Asriel's demon, but she didn't see that. All she saw was right and wrong. "Easy, Lyra," said one man. "Easy, child." "Who's took it?" she flared again. An Egyptian took a step back from her in passionate fury. "I didn't know," said another man apologetically. "I thought it was just what he'd been eating. I took it out of his hand because I thought it was more respectful. That's all, Lyra." "Then where is it?" The man sighed uneasily. "Not thinking he had a need for it, I gave it to my dogs. I do beg your pardon." "It ain't my pardon you need. It's his." Lyra is the only one in this scene who seems to show some modicum of respect for this stranger. She's never met him, and it shows a lot of her character. And it is a very important scene for her, for the story, for your understanding of the world, and they left that part out. So while I'm happy with a lot of the directions they're going, a lot of the changes, this is one thing that I am paid off about. I've heard that they still filmed it, apparently it didn't work out, so I don't know how, but hopefully they'll find some way of putting that in, like a special edition or deleted scenes or something like that, because I think it's really got to be in there. Even if it isn't a stranger, even if it is Billy Costa, then I think it's definitely a very important scene. So yes, I am annoyed that they left that part out. On to things I liked. I like that you actually meet Will in this episode. I mean, the title of the episode is Lost Boy. The title of the chapter is The Lost Boy in the book. In that it's referring to Tony Makarios, but I think in the episode it can also refer to Will as well. And you get to see a bit of his backstory, a bit of his life, his relationship with his mother. It's something that we don't really see too much of in the book either. I mean, you see his mother for a couple of pages, he hands her off to somebody else, and then goes on his adventures, and that's all we hear of her. So it's nice that we get to see a bit more of that, and go and do that. And of course, I called it. And yeah, that is one change I'm very, very happy with. And I do like that they are exploring this avenue more than they did in the book. So yes, I am happy with that. I'm also quite liking Daphne King's portrayal of Lyra a lot more. She's becoming, you know, a bit more of a chatterbox like she is in the book, which is great. She's not, she doesn't display that much of a silver tongue, which is sadly, you know, another change I'm not too happy with. There may be time constraints within the series that might, you know, be one of the reasons for that, but you know, when she does get talking, she talks. I mean, it's like the scene which she has with Yorick about tricking bears and everything like that. I like her. I think she portrays it quite well. If she had better material to work with, she'd be very, very good. Not to say the material she's got isn't that good. It's still very good. It's just show a bit more of a character, because Lyra's a fantastic character and I love her. I think she's brilliant. Her and Will are just two of my favourite characters in fiction, and them two together, I can't wait until they meet on screen. It'd be brilliant. So yeah, this episode had ups and downs, things I was not happy with, things that I really liked. So yeah, hopefully they'll go more towards the things I really like, and yeah, I don't know, a bit of a shaky episode, but still looking forward to next week. And I'm also very glad that they didn't just end it with Lyra getting knocked out like I think it's the end of the second episode. It's the same kind of cliffhanger. No, they went on a little bit and eventually revealed that she's now in Bolvangar. So yeah, I think that's a better cliffhanger. I like that. Annoying episode, but that's probably only because I've read the book. If you haven't read the book, you might still like it, but I was just annoyed that some things were left out. But then some things were put in that I liked. So it's an episode of two halves, really.